Hey YouTube, this is Kevin Boland, Boland Small Engine, and today guys I'm going to show you how to use a ferro rod. There are a lot of people out there that truly don't know the difference between a ferro rod and flint and steel, and I will tell you there is a difference, guys, okay? Contrary to what people will tell you, there is a difference. The ferro rod will actually give you a hotter spark than your typical flint and steel, and you can basically use a ferro rod with dry tinders, whereas with flint and steel you typically need charred materials. But without further ado, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get down here and I'm going to show you this ferro rod and the technique that I use. I want it to be noted, guys, that Dave Canterbury has a very unique way of doing it, and I honestly like that method, but I have a method all my own. Don't get me wrong, typically I can get this done within about 4 or 5 strikes with my ferro rod. So as I said, without further ado, guys, I'm going to go ahead, show you my technique, and show you with this tinder bundle how easy and effective it is to get a fire with a ferro rod. Now guys, this tinder is somewhat damp, okay? As you can clearly see if you look closely in the camera, it's sprinkling rain as we speak. So I'm going to go ahead and try this. I do have a flame. And this is with wet material, guys, so bear in mind, I'm not lying about it. Come on. Okay, guys, I striked it a little more than I'd hoped, but as you can see, I clearly got my flame. Gotta be honest. I don't know if I want to be truthful about this to YouTube or not. Typically, I can do this, like I said, within about 3 to 4 strikes. But bear in mind, guys, it is wet material. Obviously, if it wasn't wet, it would be burning a lot quicker. So, that being said, don't give me too much flack about it, okay? Now, I could go about this in many different ways, guys. I'm just going to apply a few sticks here and there. I'm not trying to cook anything, guys. This is more for show. If the weather had been more permitting, I could have made a better video for you guys, but obviously I didn't have a ferro rod video, so I'm just taking advantage of the fact that it's a rainy day and that this isn't exactly the best conditions to try to make a fire. So bear that in mind before you judge me too harshly. And in honesty, guys, if I was going to really make this fire something special, if you will, I would honestly add more bark. So let's do that. Now there's a lot of YouTubers out there, guys, that will try to blow wind up your ass. And they'll tell you that you can make a fire in basically any condition that you put yourself in. That's bullshit. In truth and honesty, these materials, as you can see, are damp. I've got a lot of smoke. Luckily enough, I was able to use the ferro rod to get this ignited. It took several strikes. But I can get this into flame very quickly by blowing underneath this first bundle. As you guys can see. Now don't get me wrong, guys, there are little telescoping flutes, I think is what they're called, that you can blow through and get your fires ignited that way. I actually have one from the bow drill kit that I have, and it works extremely well. But typically on the fly, you're probably not going to have something that fancy. But as you can clearly see, even in these damp conditions, I've already got the fire going. And this material is even damp, and as you can see, it's still burning. But if you guys know me, I like to show the truth. And this is the truth. Nothing was staged about this. Honestly, struck the ferro rod a few more times than I cared to admit, or even show for that matter, but obviously you can see that I've got a good fire going. So good, in fact, that it's blowing straight at me and it's choking me, so I'm going to have to get out of the smoke. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I gotta be honest, like I said, you know, I typically don't use ferro rods because I consider them cheating. But as you can see, this is a truth, no bullshit, okay? True video as to what you can expect if you're using a ferro rod and damp tinders, okay, when trying to make a fire. Now honestly, I could have stacked the odds in my favor by making a fire lay that you guys have seen in other videos, and that would definitely allow this to have caught up quicker. But let's be honest, guys, if you're in a true survival situation, you may have only 30 minutes, you may have only 20 minutes, okay, to get a fire going. So realistically, this is probably more than likely what you're going to have to resort to, is finding dry or damp grasses to make a fire with. Until next time, YouTube.